Me and this microphone have a love hate relationship. Like sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it works. So, yo, Francis, is the microphone working? Because I don't trust this microphone, man. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, last time when I was live, it was not working, and I went on to speak for like more than 30 minutes, and it was not working. But I thought it was working. So if the microphone is not working, please tell me. Um, Vaughn, is the microphone working? Ah, perfect, perfect. Is it the, last time it was not working when I was live. Like it's weird that it was not working, but then now it's actually working. It doesn't make sense. Um, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. That's why sometimes I actually believe that this might be some kind of a matrix, because it's a good microphone. I just bought it like 4 weeks ago, so it's supposed to work. Not supposed to not work. I mean, the other day I tried so many times to make it work, and it just didn't work. Greetings from Germany, coping mental so. Greetings. I don't like this matrix, man. Like it's something is wrong with this world, man, and it's important for people to realize that, like to know that, so that even when things don't make sense, you know that hey, this is how things are in this world. Yeah, I'm ready to spit some truth again. I just wanted to check first if the microphone is working. Um, I'm not sure that if many people are gonna be able to join this live. I mean, it's late, but that's good because people will actually like watch the replay. Uh, so that's really good. Today I was having a conversation with someone. Right. So this person made, I wouldn't say they made wrong decisions in their lives, but things didn't work out for them. But they actually made the decisions that they actually wanted to make. So they were telling me that I pursued my dreams, right? Like I didn't listen to what my parents told me. I didn't listen to what my friends told me. A lot of people told me that, if I try to pursue this path that I pursued, things won't work out. And things didn't work out. Things didn't work out. What I was telling them was like, yo, it's not the end. You must know that it's not the end. But yeah, what I've realized is that when things don't work out, people tend to think that they made the wrong decision. That's why things did not work out. Like if you do exactly what you want to do and it's really what you want to do, even if things do not work out, like that's good. Because sometimes if you listen to other people and they say, hey, do these things, and you do the things that they say you must do, sometimes things do work out, but it doesn't mean that just because things have worked out, you made the right decisions. It just means that you were just lucky. So the best way to live life is to just do you, is to like really be you. Even if things don't work out, you shouldn't have regrets. Like, oh, things didn't work out, so it means that I must beat myself up because things didn't work out. Like we all do not know what's gonna happen when we make certain decisions. So the best way to live life is to actually be yourself and do what makes the most sense to you, because no one else really understand what it's like to be you. People are going to criticize. There's another thing that I've realized. I grew up in a village where people were telling me that I must do things a certain way. Like when you do things, do things this way, do things that way. Like no, we're not the same. We're not the same. Each and every person is unique, so they must do things the way that they want to do things. Whether things work out for them in the end or they don't, it's still fine, because they decided to live life how they wanted to live life. You see, they decided to take their own risks in life. So the mistake that people make is that they want to like be like everyone else. They want to like be normal. They want to fit in, and they don't realize that once they fit in, they're gonna have like like the kind of mentality that people who are in a cult have. Like you're not really who you are, so you find yourself playing by everyone else's rules, and you lose yourself. You lose yourself when you try to be like everyone else. But if you try to be yourself, that's when you start to see things as they really are. Like, I was asking myself how it actually took like so long for me to realize that antinatalism made sense, like to even think about the idea of antinatalism. Why did it take so long for me to for that idea to come into my mind? Because I've always been a very deep thinker, so I should have realized a long time ago that no, actually I shouldn't be bringing more people here because I don't really understand what the heck is going on. So, but then it took a long time for me to realize that, and the reason why it took a long time for me to realize that was because I was trying to be like everyone else. I was trying to fit in. I was not thinking for myself. So I was, 'cause I don't think as people will realize how, you know, how much of our like thinking is influenced by other people. Like, I don't think we realize that. Like, when you're part of a group, you try to be like everyone else in the group. Deleted channel, help me, Benedict. The truth. My girlfriend of 10 years wants to have a baby, and I really don't want to. What should I do? Have you tried to talk to her about antinatalism? And if you have, like, what does she say? Oh, you have never tried to talk to her about antinatalism. Um, um, I think you should have tried a long time ago to talk to her about it, but it is important that you try to talk to her about it. Like, it is, if you're not going to be honest with her, then maybe she's going to end up cheating on you. So it's important that you try to, like, have a conversation with her, try to make her see things from your perspective, and you guys are going to decide what's going to be best for you, for both of you. I think the best thing is to be as open as possible. One thing that I tell people is that you shouldn't be afraid to speak the truth no matter what. Like, believe that whatever happened as a result of you speaking the truth is like the best thing that could have happened, other than lying to yourself. Because if you lie to yourself or lie to the person that you're with, you're being fake. You're being, I don't know, you're being like a coward. You're afraid of what's going to happen if you speak the truth. But you shouldn't be like that. So I would say speak the truth. Tell her what you really think, but don't fight with her, right? Because obviously she's not really going to take it well at first. So you don't fight with her. You just try to talk to her and be as patient as you can be with her. Try to make her see what's going on. You might not necessarily need to talk about like to talk to her about antinatalism, but just talk to her about what's going on in the world and say, hey, I don't think it is best for us to be bringing a child into this world, because things are not really working out in the world. So you don't talk to her about antinatalism, but then you talk about what you see, what she can see as well. I think that's gonna, that's best. I don't know if she's gonna understand. Life is unfair and we are not living the way we want. Yeah, that's why we must fast to fight to be more of who we are. Like, that's why it is important that you try to do you, even if the world says you cannot be yourself, even if the world is gonna judge you. Like, growing up, I was always judged by people because they never really understood me. But I would feel uncomfortable trying to be like everyone else. Like, I didn't love how people around me behaved. So even if I try to be fake, the pain that I'll feel is the same pain that I'll feel when they judge me. So I was like, you know what? I'm still gonna be me, even if it means that they're gonna judge me or they're gonna single me out. So growing up, I was weird, but I think the more you become like who you really are, the more you see things as they really are, which is important. You reveal yourself to the world and the world reveals itself to you. But if you're going to be fake and try to be like everyone else, it makes you dumb. Like conforming makes you dumb. Like trying to fit in, trying to play by everyone's rules actually makes you dumb. But if you're going to be you and 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 be as honest as possible and be as brave as possible, you actually start seeing things as they are, start understanding things that you never like really understood before. I mean, when I became an internatalist, I didn't have people in my life at the time. Like I didn't have people that I can like really talk to. I was alone. Like I became an internatalist when I was alone. I was like, what's really going on in the world? And I knew that I was becoming more conscious. And that's what actually kept me going, by the way, because in 2018, like things were really hard for me. Like things were really hard for me, but I felt like I was growing and I was becoming more conscious. So I was like, maybe I can understand things that I didn't understand before, and that's better. How do you find the motivation to make videos every day? By the way, I love your videos. You're the world's best therapist, the truth. Benedictine is the truth. Yeah, thanks. The thing is, I always want to express myself and I always want to have deep conversations with people, and there ain't that many people that I can have deep conversations with. So I know that when I make videos, I'll be able to, communicate with people who are like me. So that actually makes me feel better. Like it's therapeutic, like for me to actually be making these videos every day. Like I do it to feel good, because I have a lot on my mind. Like every day I have a lot on my mind, so I have to express myself. After making a video, I feel like 10 times better than I was feeling before making a video. If I don't make a video, let's say I didn't make a video today, I will be feeling, I'll feel like there's something here, something heavy, right? Because I always have something to say. That's the thing. So yeah, I think I'm motivated by my own pain. Like the pain itself motivates me to make videos because I wanna express myself. Hey Benedictine, if you ever wanna talk, I would be down. No, we should do a live. We should do a live tomorrow. If you're available, just tell me on Instagram. We can do a live tomorrow. Um No, no, just tell me on Instagram if you're available. We'll do a live tomorrow, earlier on, because I think a lot of people are sleeping now, so we'll need to do a live around four, like between 4 and 8 p.m. Like yeah, that should do. But yeah, man, there's nothing important than you being who you really are. Like people are living in fear, man. Like when people judge you, I don't know, you feel like they have the right to tell you how to live your life. Like they know better. Like no, you are the person that knows what's best for you. There isn't any person in this world that knows what's best for you. Like no, never let anyone lie to you. No therapist knows what's best for you. Your parents don't know what's best for you. God does not know what's best for you. I know, some people are religious, like, oh, God, this and that. No, God is made up. People are just going to lie to you using God. Like, God says you must do this, God says you must do that. Like, no one knows what it's like to be you. You are the only person who knows what it's like to be you. So live your life the way that you want to live your life, even if people are going to judge you. The thing is, not everyone is going to judge you. That's another thing that I've realized. There will be some people that are going to understand you, even if these people are not many, but they will understand you because they're operating at your level of consciousness. Like you and these people are vibrating at the same frequency. And another thing that I've realized, and this is important, what I'm about to tell you is important, because there are a lot of people who reach out to me and say they can't really be themselves and all that. Like if you want to meet the right people in your life, you have to be yourself. You have to reveal yourself, right? Like you literally have to reveal yourself, because if you and the people who are like you hide, you're gonna hide from one another like that. You see, so you have to be yourself and not be afraid to be yourself, and they have to be themselves and not be afraid to be themselves. That's the best way to live life. There's no other way to live life. If you're going to live in fear, trust me, you're not gonna improve. Even your mood is not going to improve, because you're allowing fear to stop you. The way that I look at it is that like life is like full of, like it's like if you were in a video game, right? And there were NPCs, and these NPCs, their job was to confuse you, make you afraid to be who you are. To make you afraid to do things that make the most sense. And you allow them. You're like, okay, people are ignorant, people are gonna judge me, like you losing. But if you're gonna step up and be like, hey man, I don't give a fuck what other people are saying, you know, I'm just gonna allow them to do what they do. I'm gonna allow them to say what they say. It is what it is. This is how I feel. This is what I think. If I'm going to change my mind in the future, that's fine. But right now, this is what I really think. So I'm going to be as honest as possible as I live my life. I think that's really, really important. I'm 25 and I know what's happening in the world. It's I think I started waking up when I was like maybe 23, but when I turned 25, that's when I started to realize that, nah, man, this is not it. This is not it. You're right as fuck, Benedictine. Once you speak the truth, the wrong people will, leave. Yeah, exactly. Scatter out of your life. There will be consequences for telling the truth, but it's like, we're already here. Exactly. Already born. Like the worst thing that could have happened already happened. Like you are here. You are in this hell. So even if you're going to live in fear and be like, I can't be myself, and like, no, you still face the consequences of being here. You know what I mean? So you might as well, play the game. And I'm telling you, the best way to play the game is to truly be yourself and be brave and be ready for whatever is coming. People are going to judge you. I'm telling you, if you're going to be as real as possible, people are going to judge you. But if you get used to that, you win. Another thing that I've realized about this matrix, this simulation, is that, let's say you are afraid of being judged. I'm going to give you this example. Let's just say you are afraid of being judged. Whenever you do something, you're afraid of being judged. A lot of people are going to judge you, but if you stop being afraid of being judged, people are going to stop judging you. It's like this matrix knows your fears. It's like, okay, this person is afraid of being judged. Fine, I'm going to send people to judge this person so that, this person will stop doing what they want to do. That's how it works. Like if you're not afraid of being judged, trust me, people are not even going to judge you. Like, hey, you are being who you are. But if you are afraid of being judged, it's like this matrix is going to make people judge you so that you will be afraid to be yourself. You see, I think that's what you've got to conquer, because I think most people are afraid of being judged. Especially people who think like me, because people are going to judge you in the beginning because you're afraid of being judged. But if you're going to be honest, like people are going to get used to that. Like, okay, that person is brave, that person is strong. We can't bring that person down no matter what we say. Today, I want to try to respond to almost every comment. Being yourself is the ground zero for figuring out this realm. Yeah, there's no way you figuring out what's up if you're not going to be yourself. It's like there's no way, like you can't figure out what's going on unless you are yourself. Because here's the thing. If you are in a situation where you can find you can learn some truth, and you are afraid to ask the right. Let's just say you are with the right person that can tell you what the truth is about something that you don't know, but you're afraid to ask relevant questions. Then you're going to stay at the same level of consciousness. You're not going to learn anything because you're afraid. You're not being yourself. You feel like being you is weird, right? That's another problem, because other people around you have made you feel weird. Like, okay, almost every person that I've met is not like me, so it means being me is weird. It means that being me is creepy. Like, no, it's not creepy. It's just that you are different. You are you. You are unique, and that's actually dope. Because if you are going to be unique, that means that you are who you are. It's weird that everyone else is like the same. Like, there's something wrong with that. The fact that people copied one another, and they'll it's like they're part of a hive mind. That's what's creepy. That's what's scary. But if you are yourself, you are so unique, and people can describe you. When people talk about me, they can easily describe me. Easily. Like, there's so many things that are so unique about me that they can say about me. You know? But if you are just like everyone else, there's nothing that people can say about you that's actually unique. And that's you. That shows that you are fake. You're trying to fit in. It doesn't help. Trust me, it doesn't help. You shouldn't be afraid. You shouldn't be afraid. What do you think about women getting replaced with love robots? Is that happening? Is that happening? Mm, the problem is that men and women don't want to find common ground. That's the problem. Like, we don't want to find common ground. Like, we live, like, life is not easy now for everyone, whether you're a man or you're a woman. Like, if I talk to a woman about how hard it is, being a man now, like how hard it is to, find a job, to be able to provide, it won't be easy for them to understand, right? Like, it's not easy for a woman to truly understand the struggles of a man. So that's why, you know, sex robots are going to sell, because a lot of men are lonely. It sucks that we are where we are at, but it's the reality that we have to, deal with. Mm, F Tourette syndrome. How can I fix it? Tourette syndrome. Tourette syndrome. No, I think I know about Tourette syndrome. It's like when you have tics. I think I don't know if there's a way to fix that. I'll just say, don't be afraid to be who you are, and even if people are going to judge you, don't be afraid, and don't be angry at them. Like, people are dumb. Sometimes people are going to judge you if you have those ticks like in front of them. It sucks that people are like that, but I would say, don't don't mind, because people are stupid. Like, understand that every time when you go out. How old are you, man? You look young. I look young. I'm turning 31 this year. I don't feel like you look young. Benedict, are you a farmer? What do you do to survive in this matrix? I'm gonna be a legit farmer before this year ends. But yeah, kind of am. People judge me all the time. Yeah, it needs to get to a point where you're just not afraid, man. You're just not afraid. Like, you don't let it get to you, because I think that's how the matrix attacks people. It's like, it's gonna send people to judge you, to make you feel bad about yourself. I don't think these people can help it. It's like something sends them. So you're supposed to not feel good. Like, your day must be ruined. It's Listen, if you are yourself, right? If you are yourself, like 100%, you are yourself. any person who's going to judge you, any person who's going to say you are a bad person or you are not good enough or you are creepy, that person hates life because life created you and you are exactly what life created. So don't take full responsibility. You know what I mean? Like for who you are, like that. Just kind of like detach yourself from yourself. I don't know if that makes sense. It's like, hey, let the world respond the way that it responds. It's all good. Let the world respond the way that it responds to you. It's fine. Since we've been conditioned to care what others think, we have to uncondition ourselves. I think they've said it takes 30 days for your brain to build up a habit, and you've been conditioned. Yeah, exactly. Because some people will say, no, it's impossible. It's impossible not to care what other people think about me. No, it is possible. The problem is that you're not doing the work. It is possible. It is just not easy. You need to go out there and be exactly who you are. Allow people to judge you. It's going to hurt at first. Go out again and be who you are. It's going to hurt. It'll get to a point where it doesn't hurt. Like when people say, like where I live, because I don't believe in Christianity, some people say that I have demons. Some people say that um, I've joined the Illuminati. I've heard some people saying that. It used to hurt me back then. Like, why do you think that? I'm just curious. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. That's why I'm asking the questions that I'm asking. But now I'm like I don't even know how to explain it. Like I don't feel anything. Like when people judge me, I feel nothing. I genuinely don't feel anything. I don't feel angry. I used to feel angry back then. I don't feel angry. I don't feel like um there's something wrong with me. No one can make me feel like there's something wrong with me because I understand myself. I've done a lot of work to try to understand myself, so no one can make me feel like there's something wrong with me. So it takes a lot of work, but you do get to a point where you don't care what other people think of you. I mean, there've been things that people used to judge you for, that used to like bother you back then, and that doesn't bother you anymore. I do believe that each and every person, there were things that used to bother us in the past when people say those things about us, but now these things don't bother us anymore. So it is possible to not care what other people think of you, but you got to be willing to do the work. You got to willing to let it hurt you first. And another thing that you must realize is that once people get used to who you are, they will know that, okay, this is who you are. Like there's not, they shouldn't really, like they won't really have a problem with it because now they're used to it. I can't wait when more people wake up. Man, do people ever wake up? It seems like there will always be few people who wake up. Like that's how it works. Like there will always be few. It's like the whole world. Like I don't think, even if the worst possible thing can happen in the world, I don't think everyone will wake up. I don't think we'll wake up as a collective. And that's why it's not easy to, change the world. Because some people will say, why don't you focus on coming up with solutions? What should we do? Stop making videos talking about the negative things that are happening in the world. Come up with the solutions. Like, hey, you can't change people's minds. Like some people behave exactly like robots. No matter what you tell them, they will never change. They will never understand what you're telling them. So it's just few people that are going to, wake up and start seeing things as they really are. Maybe that's part of the game. Can you answer my comment? Is important. I don't remember seeing your comment. Just try to comment again. Do you stand with Didi? Oh man, I never like really liked Didi. I feel like he screwed a lot of people over. But you know what I think is happening now? I don't think, a lot of people think they're just trying to make an example out of him, but it's not even that. I think they're just trying to distract us because this is a game to these people. I think everyone knew exactly what was going to happen. I remember talking about this, that there's been prophets that have spoken about what's going to happen. And I think these prophets are actually part of this, like the same, secret society that's controlling everything. Like they're part of the matrix themselves. So they were told that, hey, go into the world and say this is what's gonna happen to Didi. You know, that's why Kate Williams said, hey, everything's gonna be exposed this year. I think it's part of their plan. I don't know why, but it's part of their plan. It's a game to these people. They create clones and all that. Like we can't even believe that Didi is suffering right now. Maybe they've created a clone, and then there's the clone that's going to suffer. Like we can't believe anything that's happening in Hollywood. These people have technology beyond our comprehension. I mean, think about it. Why is he not arrested? Why is he not arrested? They know when they're going to arrest him. They're going to arrest him at the right time. They know exactly what they're doing. They know that everyone is going to be watching. Everyone is going to be focusing on that. Like it's all a game. So I don't want to pick sides and be like, okay, I stand with Didi. He's a black person and they're doing this. If he was white, they wouldn't be doing this. Like if it was Leonardo DiCaprio, they wouldn't be doing this. Like no. It's all a game to these people. Isn't nature and life just cold and indifferent for eternity? Just cold and indifferent. Monotonous routines forever and ever without any chance of escape. Let's just hope that all of this ends here. Let's just hope that all of this ends here. Christopher said, man, I love your videos, man. We need to do a live together, man. I made a life of my brother from another mother. Thanks for what you do in this. Oh no, like we should do a live together for real. We should do a live together. Oh yes, that anger. I must work on that. If people hate you, they are hating life itself because life created you exactly the way. Yeah, exactly. No, that's a fact. If people hate you, they hate life itself because, I mean, you are part of life, and if you are really being yourself, you're not being a coward, and then you are exactly what life created you to be. So, yeah. We and most people are unconscious all our lives. There are only a few people who are even able to detect the conditioning and programming in the subconscious, and even fewer to actively change them. You know what scares me? The fact that I was unconscious for a long time. Like I became really conscious at the age of 25. Yes, I was questioning a lot of things when I was young, but at the age of 25, that's when things changed for me. And that's when I hit rock bottom and start seeing things as they really work. I was depressed in 2018. That's when I was 25, 2018. I was really depressed, but that's what it took for me to start realizing how things really work in the world. So it surprises me that I didn't realize how things work in the world, even though I was questioning everything, because it's not like I started questioning things now. So that makes me understand why some people are still ignorant, even people that we think are smart. It's almost impossible. It's like you have to defeat your own programming. Like something has to happen that's gonna change how you think, and it doesn't happen to everyone. People are possessed by their God, 100%. People are possessed by their religions. I have a hard time to stay calm when I say really simple thing to people 10, 20, 30 times and they still don't want to understand. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks when you tell someone something that is so true that you don't think a person must not understand. Like this is not mathematics. This is words, right? I'm just I'm just telling you the way things are. Like if I tell you that um, there are a lot of people who are unemployed in the world, so it is pointless for us to be making more babies, especially if we don't even have money. Like I'm not lying; it's a fact. There are a lot of people. Just because a person can survive, even if they grow up in poverty, doesn't mean that the quality of the quality of their lives was actually good, because people think that the point of life is actually being alive, like being alive. That's it. Like, no, we want to have this experience so that we'll enjoy our lives. We don't want this experience to be hell. So if we keep on making the wrong decisions, keep on making unconscious decisions, there's gonna be a lot of suffering. The only way to get rid of suffering actually is to make conscious decisions all the time. We need to make the best possible decision, no matter what is happening, no matter what we see happening. Even in your own life, if you don't make the right decisions, then you find yourself suffering more than you'd suffer if you were actually making conscious decisions. Like, if I was unconscious and I was just like everyone else, I'll be suffering way worse than I'm suffering now. Because the life that I have, like the life that I have and my own luck doesn't allow me to make mistakes. Like, I can't be making mistakes. I have to make the best possible decisions for things to actually be better for me, or be, the way that they are. Usually it seems like it's comfortable lies, man. What do you believe this reality is? A dream or a simulation? What's the point of this shit when death is? Yeah, exactly. That's the question that each and every person should ask themselves, and that, we should actually be asking people who, bringing more people here, or who believe that they should be bringing more people here. Like, what is the point of this? What is the point of this game? Why do you think that this game is important for everyone to play? What's so important about it? Because there are a lot of things that are happening that doesn't make sense. We see that there are a lot of people who are being abused in this game, who are suffering in this game. There are a lot of people who are even, ending this game without, like, their lives, and that they're killing their characters without, like, they're killing their characters, like, horribly, because they suffered so much. Like, if a person decides to jump from, like, a very tall building, you know what I mean? Like, that means that person is been through so much that they don't even care how much pain they get to feel. Like, they don't even feel fear anymore. So if there are people like that in this game, why do we feel like this game is worth it? If there are wars, unnecessary wars, right? People who are in power starting wars, and poor people suffering because of that. If that is happening in the world, why do we think that this game is worth it? How do we justify this game? What's the meaning? Because it seems like people are just born and they grow older, grow older, grow older, and then they die. Like, there isn't a person that I feel like has lived a meaningful life, honestly. Even the people that a lot of people respect, Nelson Mandela's, the Martin Luther Kings, all these people, because they even really, like, made real change. We know these people and we worship them, but what have they really done? They're like, oh, they fought for black people, this and that. Like, no one really wins. It seems like you are your own savior as a person. Like, no one really is going to, like, save you. It's you're your own savior. Yes, Benedict, I agree. I made a post on Reddit talking about how we internalists are anomalies. Somehow we have overrode our programming, and maybe we are meant to wake up as part of this saga. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Christopher, I would love to, brothers. Sorry, had to I don't know what that means. AFK for a minute. I should I should be open. Just tell me, man. Just tell me. Just tell me when you're ready, and yeah, we'll do it. Do you believe the infinite simulations out there? I wouldn't say that infinite. I wouldn't say that infinite simulations, but it's very possible that we are in a like it's very possible. I used to take this idea lightly back then, but it's very possible because of the things that I've seen in my own life. Like it's very possible. Even looking at what's possible in this world, even looking at technology itself, the things that are possible in this world should make us question everything. So it's possible, but I wouldn't say that there are infinite simulations. I would say yes, it's not one simulation, but I wouldn't say they are infinite. This really is tough when there's no purpose. Yeah, man, there's no purpose, and that's one of my biggest problems. Like we suffer so much for a life that has no meaning, for a life that has no purpose. You know, you always ask yourself, what is this for? What do I gain in the end, and what does anyone gain in the end? Because we are so biased towards life. That's my problem. Like it's like everyone is biased towards life, right? That is why if some people say, "Hey, we're tired," we force them to play the game. Or why? What is it about this game? That's why I believe some people are NPCs, because you can't tell me that these people that are forcing people to play this game really care about these people. Think about it. Do they really care about these people that are forcing to play this game? What is it about it? Is it because it's the only world that we know? That is why we are obsessed with it. That's why we feel like we must force people to play the game? Or is it because of religion? Or is it because of how we've been programmed? Love your work, brother. I implore you to look into this Gnostic concept. It may answer many of our questions. Um, Earth is literally a whole simulation made tough to realize but liberating. Yeah, man, I agree with Gnosticism on a philosophical level, not on a spiritual level, but on a philosophical level. Because I believe that antinatalism is Gnosticism finding its way back. You know, and I think most of my videos are kind of like Gnostic, because I mostly talk about how messed up this realm is, and how and why we must escape, like why we must try to find ways to escape, like how we must try to like raise our awareness and start seeing things as they are. That is why I'm saying, do you like be more of who you are? I think that's the only way. The more you become who you are, the more the world reveals itself to you. That's what I've seen happening in my own life. Like when I was fake and living in fear, the world was not revealing itself to me. It's important that you see the truth, even if the world itself is hell and it's showing you that it's hell. It's fine because it's still the truth. You want the truth. I think that's what's going to set you free. It's the truth. It's knowing what's up that's really going to save you. You're not going to be saved by someone else. People are manipulative. People lie. Do you believe in free will? No, I don't believe in free will. I believe in causality. I believe that I'm making this video because something happened in that made me, like, if something else happened, I wouldn't be making this video. It's like we are victims of causality. There's this other movie that I've watched. It's called Butterfly Effect, if I'm not mistaken. It's about this guy who was able to go back into the past, right? Like when he was growing up, he would faint. Sometimes he would faint, right? Out of nowhere, he would just collapse and like faint. It happened to him, multiple times. But then when he got older, he was able to go back into the past to the time when he fainted, right? So when he would when he went to the past and made a different decisions, different things will happen in his life. So that's what I mean when I say we're victims of causality. It's like, um, if well, there's this guy who came and who came and we started talking. If that guy didn't come, I don't believe I would be making this life. Like the right things had to happen for me to be making this life. Even for you, like for you to have actually joined this life, there certain things had to happen for you to actually find yourself watching this life. If different things happen, then you wouldn't even be watching this live. Maybe you will be on the phone talking to someone else. Maybe you'll be eating. Maybe you'll be watching a TV series. So we're not really, we don't have free will. We're victims of causality. So what I'm trying to do, and this is important, is to make people behave a certain way and think a certain way by causing them to think that way and behave that way. You see, when I make this video, it means that I'm reprogramming how people think, and actually, yeah, make them do things that they wouldn't do if they didn't listen to me make say the things that I say. Like, there've been people who weren't internalists who found my videos and who became internalists after finding my videos, and they told me that, hey, if I didn't find your channel, I would be having a baby by now. Right? If I didn't find your channel, I would be having a baby by now. So I do believe, I wouldn't say that it was their own free will that made them realize that I was right. It's their experiences, and they found my channel at the right time when they were ready to hear the truth. So we don't have free will. We're victims of causality. I'm trying to read as many comments as possible. Do you think it's possible there is a meaning that we humans can't comprehend? No, I don't believe that. I believe humans are conscious enough. We might not be capable of doing a lot of things, but we're conscious enough. We're conscious enough to see if something is not right. Now, you know what I think? I think even if somehow we escaped this realm and found ourselves in another reality where we were more conscious than we are, we wouldn't look at this and be like, it was a meaningful experience. I mean, maybe some people will be like, hey, because I escaped it, it was a meaningful experience, but we wouldn't want to come back. Let me put it that way. We wouldn't want to come back because this is hell. So the more conscious, because here's the thing. When I was unconscious, I used to think this world was good. But the more conscious I become, the more I realize that no. You see, so I don't think there's a meaning that we can't comprehend. I think this just sucks. We can see that. That is why the most conscious people are able to see that something is not right. Even people who are not internalists, there's people who believe in maybe who believe in new age spirituality who know that this sucks. Even Christians know that this sucks. It's just that they don't think for themselves. They believe that this world is hell. I mean, not necessarily hell, but the devil runs shit here. That's why things are not really working out. So it doesn't really make sense that they're behaving children. But it's just because they don't think for themselves. But we all know this isn't right. You legit can't do anything without any money. Even traveling or buying a house is impossible without it. Yeah, that's what sucks, man. That's how they got us. They got us because if you don't have money, you can't really do anything. It sucks. Beautiful said, brother. You are a bright spark of the original. So thanks, man. Do you feel you have transcended your mind, ego? Not fully, but I feel like I've progressed. Let me put it that way. Like, I'm not the way that I was like 5 years ago. I can perceive the feelings very deeply, but acting on them is what is difficult. Conditioning ain't no joke. Yeah, it ain't no joke, man. We take it one step at a time. It's not like you wake up tomorrow and become who you really are and stop playing by the rules. No, it's you take it one step at a time. Like, set challenges for yourself. You know what I mean? Like, that's important. You tell yourself that, okay, today I'm going to talk to this person about what I really think because I've been fake. So I'm gonna talk to this person about what I really think. They're gonna react how they react. I'm gonna stress if I'll have to stress, but it'll be fine. You don't just wake up tomorrow and be like, I'm gonna be the realest person. Like I'm gonna be real the whole time. Like it's not gonna be easy. Things are gonna backfire on you. Like if you just gonna try to do everything all at once. You take it one step at a time, but by doing that, you're also training your mind. Even if we are in a simulation, the simulators would have to gain consciousness in order for them to operate the simulation. So consciousness is the root cause of, yeah, I think consciousness is fundamental. Here is a link to the Gnostic teachings of the inner path of our perpetual suffering. I'll check the link if it will appear. Can you add the link, or maybe just add the link after the live? Maybe it will, yeah, it will appear like on the actual comment section. Um, because Gnosticism, like if you really think about it, Gnosticism supports like, and let me put it this way. Even if you don't believe in Gnosticism as an internalist, but you'd realize that most Gnostic teachings actually support antinatalism. This world is hell. It seems like whatever created this reality didn't have our best interest. It might not have like be it might not be like this evil being that we might think it is. It might just be this being that just didn't have our best interest. So it might not necessarily be evil. Just like the ways some humans abuse animals. They they're not abusing animals because they're like super evil. Just that they're selfish. Let me put it that way. So whatever created this reality is selfish. It didn't create it for us. You know, some people believe that they just like someone who asked. I don't think they believe that there's a meaning to this, but some people believe that there's a meaning to life, and even though we suffer, we are learning something. Like this is necessary. But what I've realized is that when people suffer, they grow, even if they're not suffering for a reason. So we are suffering and we are growing, but not because this was designed for us to grow. No, this is hell, but we are growing because we are realizing what is really going on. So we're becoming more aware. But this wasn't created for a good reason. And you can see that. It's not easy for people to reach higher levels of consciousness. It's not like it's made easy for you to wake up. Like everything is against you waking up. That is why when you speak the truth, people are gonna hate you. People are gonna make you think that you're crazy. You know, people are gonna talk shit about you, warn other people about you. You know, like they'll make you feel like there's something wrong with you when you speak the truth. It seems you can see that this world has been designed to keep people ignorant. The more ignorant you are, the more you win. If you realize that, the more you get what you want, the more you do things that this matrix wants you to do, the more you win. And the more you do things that this matrix doesn't want you to do, the more you lose. Like the more you suffer. That's why you need to be strong. You cannot expect this matrix to love you if you are against it. This is another thing that people gotta realize. Because sometimes you wonder why things are harder for you than they are for other people. Like, no, this matrix knows it's you can't you can't think this is random and there ain't some things that are happening in the background that we don't see and we're not being watched. Like, no, I think we are being watched. I think there are things that are happening in the background that we do not see. So when things happen, you know, that you don't like, just know it has a lot to do with the fact that you are, you know, you are a threat in some way. Even if you're not speaking the truth, but just the fact that you understand what you understand, that automatically makes you a threat. If you want to deprogram yourself, you don't just have to go behind this world, but behind all worlds, back to nothing. In order to understand, we must reject and deny ourselves and our animalistic nature. Yeah, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, but yeah, that's true. Also, the great book by Charles Free Christ, The Hardcore Ancient Gnostics Way, Internalist. How the fuck do how the fuck we more conscious than our own parents? That's a good question. That's a good question. How are we more conscious than our own parents? The way I look at it, you know, here's another thing that I've realized. The more I talk to people who are conscious, the more I realize this. You could have been conscious no matter what. Like even if you things worked out for you the way that you wanted in life, you could have been conscious. It's like there's something in you that makes you conscious. You could have been conscious if someone told you the truth, right? Like the truth will call on you. Let me put it that way. It's like there are just some people who are that different. Because think about it, your parents probably suffered more than you have suffered, right? Your parents probably suffered more than you have suffered, but you are more conscious than them. You understand things that they don't understand. You try to explain things to them and they just don't get it. So I think people are just some people are just meant to wake up because we're different. Some people just can never wake up. And that is why sometimes you mustn't be angry at these people who are not waking up. You just become more of who you are and stop being angry at people. Because I think even anger itself is a weakness. And we become angry when we feel helpless, right? Like when we feel helpless, when we feel like we can't really get through to people, right? We feel angry. But if we if we do the best that we can and we live our lives the best way that we can, I think we'll be less angry. Like we feel angry when we're helpless. That's the thing. But the more real you are, the less angry you feel. Like think about it. Like if you were in a relationship with a person and you're not telling them the truth and they were bothering you in so many different ways, but you weren't telling them the truth, you'd feel angry at them, right? Whenever they fuck up. But if you were telling them the truth the whole time, it will get to a point where the anger is gone because you no longer you've expressed yourself, you expressed yourself a lot, so the anger is not really there anymore because of that. Do you think it's possible for no, you think it's possible for a perfect world? There can never be a perfect world. Like that is impossible. People are too ignorant, man. Trust me, I've spoken to a lot of people. I know that some people can never be conscious no matter what. Like it's impossible for some people to become conscious. There can never be a perfect world because of that. Because even if you are going to be a good person, you can't make everyone good. There will still be some psychos in this world. There will still be some narcissists in this world. There will still be selfish people in this world. There will still be ignorant people in this world. No matter how conscious you are, that's why I'm saying you are your own savior. Like it doesn't have a lot to do with other people. Like this is your path. You have to like save yourself. Because you can't change, like some people you can't change their minds. Even if you show them the truth, man, they won't be able to see it. So the world is going to be as fucked up as it is, or even worse in the future, because we're not. We you see, here's the thing: the more we reproduce, and the more the population grows, the more fucked up the world is gonna become, because there's gonna be different people who are ignorant, and you know how ignorant people are when they're in large groups. You see? Do you think you'd still have the same view on life if it wasn't for the internet? Yes, because I didn't become an internalist because of the internet. I became an internalist one day when I was alone thinking, and I just was like, okay, this world ain't it. Like I've been lying to myself. I've been defending this world for too long, but it ain't it. Something is just wrong, and I keep on telling myself that nothing is wrong. Like no, something is actually wrong. What do you think about astral travel? No, I think that's interesting. I think if people can like if you can astral project, you should keep doing that, because I think each and every person should actually be able to do that. But because of the food that we eat, because of how we've been programmed to think, because of how addicted we are to this realm, we're unable to do that. Like, we're not being taught the right things. We're not being taught um, how to escape this reality. Like, we're being taught how to be addicted to this reality. So if you can astral project, like, that's a gift, because it's not easy. It's so hard for many people to like astral project, but there's something about it, you know. There's something about it, and I think if you can do it, you should keep on doing it, because there will be things that you can learn from, you know, astral realms. So yeah, it's interesting. I think it's real. I think people can astral project. I almost did astral project at some point, but I think I was scared. I don't know if it was fear. If you are not angry, you not feeling anything. If you are not, or you mean that if you're not angry, you're not feeling anything. Some people, when they're not feeling anger, they're not really feeling anything. Like, they're so numb that the only time when they feel is when they are angry. But if you can control your anger, that's good. Like, if you can still make the right decisions, that's good. Because the problem is this: when people are angry, they become totally powerless, and anger takes over, and they start making decisions that they end up regretting, because it's not the decisions that they would have wanted to make. So if you if you love feeling angry, because sometimes anger can motivate you to do the things that you actually want to do. Like, you can feel, there are times when I feel angry but still feel powerful, like feel powerful enough to do the things that I actually want to do, and to say the things that I actually want to say because I'm angry. So if you can control your anger, then yeah, that will actually be good. Would you say there is more male or women who are internalists? That's a good question. I think there are more women who are like child free but not internalists. They don't. Some of them just don't know about internalism. But I think, let me not answer this question, because I think it's 50-50. I think it's 50-50. It's just that women who don't want to have children call themselves like child free. That's the thing. Like, they, but then most of them, you know, and men who don't want to have children for philosophical reasons become antinatalists. Because here's the thing: women in the past were forced to have children. That's the thing. Like, they were forced. Most of them were forced to have children. So now, because there's women who are child free and who are telling them that, oh, you don't have to have children, they follow these women, so they become child free because of that. But antinatalists, the reason why most men are attracted to antinatalism is because they didn't face the challenges that women faced in the past. So for them, it's just about, for philosophical reasons. Like, it has to do with philosophy than that. Are you the same when you are dreaming? Like, this is a very important question. I was talking to someone about this. I was saying that I think it is important that we are so conscious that even when we are dreaming, we're still the same. So yes, I am the same when I'm dreaming, and I love that, because there was a time when I will do things that I wouldn't do in this realm. But when I'm dreaming, I still know that I'm an internalist. I've had dreams where I was supposed to have children, and I would debate with people like, nah, it's you know what I mean? Like, I'm still the same. I still don't believe in the Christian God. I still cannot be manipulated. I still don't do dumb things. Like, I'm still the same. I never wake up from a dream and regret doing some things. I'm like, because sometimes you can wake up from a dream and be like, why did I do that? It means I'm weak. So I'm still the same, and I think that's important. Like, you must be so conscious that even when you're dreaming, you're still the same, because if there's a life after this, maybe you're gonna forget some things. You see the problem? Maybe you're gonna forget some things. So if you forget some things in the afterlife, then you're gonna make stupid decisions and still find yourself in this trap. So if you are the same even when you're dreaming, I think, yeah, that's powerful. I wanna lucid dream and astral project. Yeah, it's a lot of work, but that's important. I smoke too much when I sleep. It's like 2 seconds, then I wake up. What do you mean? Like you smoke? You mean you smoke in your dreams, or you smoke before you sleep? But yeah, it is important to learn how to lucid dream. But it's not easy. Like I haven't had that many lucid dreams, and I don't feel like I knew that I was dreaming the same way that I will know that, like the same way that I will know in this reality. It's like you have a dream where you know that you're dreaming, but the you that knows that you're dreaming is the you in your dream. Does that make sense? It's like you don't know on this level that you're dreaming. And this is my problem with lucid dreaming. Like I know, but I don't really know the way that I should know. You know, weed reduces REM sleep, and also alcohol does too. Does it? I didn't know that. I mean, I've found myself in deep like REM sleep sometimes when I'm drunk. So I don't know. I don't know. But it's also important to understand dreams. Like why do we dream, and why do we forget that we are dreaming? I mean, that's a really important question. Why do we dream? Why do we forget that we're dreaming? And we mustn't like listen to what scientists are saying, because another thing that I've realized is that what they tell us is what they want us to believe. Like even if there's something that's supernatural that is happening, they will try to explain it in such a way that will make you think that there's nothing supernatural that is happening. They just say you take psychedelics and you meet some aliens, and that tell you things that that are actually important. After waking up from the trip, if a person who believes a lot in science might tell you that nah, you're just hallucinating, even if you weren't hallucinating, even if what you've actually been told was actually important. So that's the thing. Like you got to listen to your own intuition. When you have experiences, listen to your own intuition than listening to other people. No one really knows what's going on, and people are being lied to each and every day. So you listen to your own intuition. What did I experience? Why did I have the kind of dreams that I had last night? Why did I feel like someone was holding me like this when I was sleeping? What does that even mean? Why do I sometimes hear voices when I'm sleeping? What does that mean? Why do I feel like I've been here before? What does that mean? Why do I dream about things before they happen? You know, sometimes there's no logical explanation for the things that are happening. Sometimes things that are happening are actually supernatural, but we always try to find a logical explanation because we don't want to believe that there are things that happen in this world that we do not know and that we cannot really explain. So we must always keep an open mind, because that's how we learn. You can never learn anything if you don't keep an open mind. If you believe that, okay, reality is exactly as I perceive it to be, and that's it. So if someone tells you that, hey, this is also possible, like, no, that's not possible. That's not possible. You know what I mean? Like, you never learn, you never grow. So you keep an open mind and be willing to learn. That's how people grow. If you don't keep an open mind, you never grow. Allah, Jesus, Elohim are the same trickster entity, 100%. I don't trust those things, man. I don't trust those things. But I think they were made up. You know what I believe is gonna happen if they fail to control us. They might actually create these gods, right? They might create AI that resembles these gods, like they can create Jehovah, like an AI vision of Jehovah that's very powerful, and they can do some crazy shit, and then we start worshiping that thing and be like it's God. I'm telling you, because those stories do not make sense. You can see they were about control the whole time. So what will stop them from creating the AI vision of Jehovah so that they will control us? And that AI vision of Jehovah start telling us some things. That's the best way. Like that's checkmate right there. Like that's the best way to control humanity, is to create the AI vision of God that can do a lot of things that are impossible. A lot of people who believe in God are gonna be like, "Oh, this is God." I mean, you didn't believe in God, you can say that this is God. That's the checkmate move. I'm telling you. Did you ever had a dream where you meet the Baphomet? No. I never have dreams where I meet like where I meet demons. Like I never had those kind of dreams. Real shit. I can't remember my dreams. No, the days before after the next one comes. You can't remember. You mean you can't remember? Do you remember that you dream? Like, do you remember after dreaming that you've had a dream? What do you think of morals? Do you think there's right or wrong? I think the only thing that's wrong is bringing people into this realm, man. Anything that happens here, it's a no hold bars. Because here's the thing: some people are psychos for real. Like if you check the brain of a person who's a psychopath and you check the brain of a person who's like normal, who's considered to be normal, there's a difference. So some people are animals for real. Some people are killers for real. Some people are thieves for real. Some people are narcissists for real. So who am I to judge? Just don't bring people into this realm because it's messed up. Anything that happens here, I can't really judge because people are messed up in many different ways, and it's not their fault. They were just life created them that way. So you just should not bring more conscious beings into this realm because you don't know how they're going to be. Plus, it's not easy being in this realm. We do make mistakes. People make mistakes. You can't be perfect all the time. And also understand that these rules are messed up and know that there's no equality. If I was born into a place where I had nothing and there were some people who had everything, will I really be wrong to kind of like, steal from them? I mean, you might say, no, you'll be wrong because you're stealing from someone, but why should they have everything and I have nothing if I'm part of the same world that they are part of? Who says who says that they must have more than me? Who says that they own the things that they have? Just because someone have money, remember money is made up, right? Money is made up. So just because someone has money and money allows them to own everything doesn't mean that I've agreed to that. I didn't agree that when people have money they must own everything. I didn't agree to that. So if I steal from them, I'm playing by my own rules, just like they play by their own rules. That's why morality cannot really exist. Just don't bring people into this realm. That's it. That's how you win. I think we tampered with the original point of life and tried to give our own point. I think it was created to be this mess that it is. Have you ever read Buddhist and Hindu books? You need to dive into the spiritual question through religion. If your mind is open, you can become a Christian or a Buddhist. um, Buddhist teachings, I actually like most of them. Like I love Buddhist teachings, right? But the problem with religion is that people follow it blindly. That's the problem. Like, I don't think people who follow religion actually grow spiritually like they think they are. I don't think enlightenment can be taught. See, like, that's why I don't believe in this. Like, I do believe that the Buddha was enlightened, more enlightened than a lot of people, but his followers weren't. And when I say his followers, I don't mean people who learn from his teachings, because you can learn from the Buddhist teachings, but I mean people who are like followers for real. They're like, okay, uh, the Buddha said that I mustn't get angry at people, so I mustn't get angry at people. Like, no, it doesn't work that way. It seems like you have to learn how to be yourself, right? Like, no one else should tell you how to be. You learn. You see, the best way to learn is to become more of who you are and have the right intentions. Do you want to learn? Do you want to grow? Do you want to become enlightened? And that's what's going to happen without you following a book and be like, okay, if I want to be enlightened, uh, I must not kill an ant. That's enlightenment. Or I must not say anything bad to someone. That's enlightenment. Like, no, that's not how it works. You're going to turn into a robot. You're not going to become enlightened. You're just going to be a robot. So it takes a lot of work. Like, you work on yourself, because enlightenment is understanding, right? So if you just behave the way that someone is telling you to behave, you're not going to become enlightened. You just be, it's like how they teach children at school, right? They make them memorize things. They just memorize things. You ask them, what is energy? And they say, energy is the ability to do work. You're like, is that energy? Like, do you understand what energy is? You never really understand what energy is if you just if they just tell you what it is. Like, you have to figure out what energy is, what energy means to you, not go by their definition. It's always disappointing to wake up and realize that you are still in this world. Yeah, that sucks, man. That sucks. Especially if there's something that bad that has happened, something that you're dealing with. Like, you fall asleep and you start dreaming and you forget that there's something bad that you're dealing with, and then you wake up and be like, oh shit, I still have that problem that I gotta solve. I'm so tired of this reality. Yo, it's impossible to not be tired. The blind leading the blind. What do you think about the concept that death don't exist? This is related to reincarnation concepts. Um, isn't it possible that you don't die in your own perspective? And it's scary. Like, when you die from other people's perspectives, you don't die from like your own perspective. You never experience death. Maybe it will be more like waking up somewhere. It's crazy, but it's possible. We need to keep an open mind. That's the thing. We need to keep an open mind. And sometimes I think that's the best thing to do, to you just keep an open mind the whole time. You don't reject anything. Even if it sounds ridiculous, you don't reject it. If someone tells you about astral projection, you don't reject that. Like, that's bullshit. If someone tells you about psychedelics, you don't reject that. If someone tells you about reincarnation, you don't reject that. You keep an open mind, because you don't know what is going on. You mustn't choose what feels comfortable. You be like, okay, it feels comfortable to believe in evolution, so I must believe in evolution. You keep an open mind the whole time, regardless of how what you're being told makes you feel. Bob Marley Exodus song lyrics meant to get out of this simulation. I'll listen to it. What do you think about plummeting birth rates in Europe? Although it's not because of antinatalism, more to do with culture and economics, it's still achieving the goal of antinatalism. No, that's great. What scares me is that that's not what's happening in Africa. But the fact that that's happening in Europe, I think we're gonna, like that's gonna happen also in Africa, because it seems like things have to happen in developed countries before it happens. Like we copying other countries, so I think that's gonna happen. It's good because it shows that some people can think, even if it has to do with the fact that a lot of people don't have money, but it means they can think. They realize that they don't have to have children, because one of the biggest problems is that most people think that they have to have children. But some people, realize that no, it's not a must. If it doesn't make sense for me to have children, I ain't having children. When you are enlightened, you stop watching porn. No, that's the thing. People think when you are enlightened, you're no longer human. Like, no, enlightenment is understanding. You stop doing things that hold you back. So if porn holds you back, yes, you're gonna stop watching porn. But it doesn't mean that you stop being human. It doesn't mean that you must become like a monk and because there's the thing. And I think a lot of people who claim to be enlightened fool people that way. Right? They fool people that way because they'll have this beard and they'll dress a certain way and they'll speak a certain way, and you're like, oh, this person is enlightened. No, they just know how to act like they're enlightened. Enlightenment is understanding. Do you understand things? That's it. That's what enlightenment is. You behave how you want to behave. You behave in a way that makes sense to you, but do you understand things? We know that Buddha was enlightened because of what he understood, not because of how he dressed, not because of what he stopped doing. That's not enlightenment. You can quit alcohol and still not be enlightened. You can quit watching porn and still not be enlightened. You can quit jacking off or masturbating and still not be enlightened. I think the depth of uncomfortable feeling felt brings you to the deeper level of understanding. Yeah, true, true. It's like we need to be uncomfortable first before we realize that something isn't right. What did it feel like, Benedictine, when you passed out? It didn't feel. I didn't feel anything. I don't even remember passing out. That's what's crazy. Like, I'm talking to this lady. Uh, I remember the conversation that I was having with her, and then this guy is like, "Hey, man, are you okay?" And I open my eyes, and I'm lying like this. I was like, "What?" And I asked everyone what happened, and they explained to me that I just passed out. So it did. I don't remember falling. That's the thing. So it means I passed out before like hitting the ground. I mean, I wouldn't fall like this. Actually, like I would touch the ground. That's the thing. So it means I passed out before. It's weird. It's a weird phenomenon, really. I feel like this is only in America. What do you feel like is only in America? Um, no, enlightenment to me is understanding. You have to understand things. That's it. If there's something that you still that other people understand more than you, then you still have a lot of work to do, especially about human behavior, especially about morality. You know, because there are people who claim to be enlightened but are still very judgmental. Like, when you're enlightened, it's gonna be hard for you to judge other people because you understand them. If everyone was to be an internalist, what do you think will be the best way to make things worthwhile while we head towards extinction? We stop being afraid and just do what we want to do. Spend our money on the things that we didn't even need money. I think things will be free. We just work together as humanity and try to love one another. Stop fighting, because there will be no reason to fight. Like, it will be beautiful, actually. People ask you questions that you already answered. Um, yeah, I try to skip because I think people will watch the replay. What do you think of becoming a homeless hermit in order to escape wage slavery? There's this video that I watched on TikTok 2 days back. So they was asking this guy on a wheelchair, right? They're like, what's your advice for people? I think, yeah, that's what they asked him. And he was like, try being homeless. It might work for you. I laughed, but I was like, he's kind of right. He kind of has a point. He was like, try being homeless. It might actually work for you. Like, hey, you've never given it a try, so you think it might not work for you. But I think if I were to become homeless, I will just try my best to be as clean as possible, have like my bag, and always be traveling. Like, no, not be in one spot. Like, always be traveling and find a way to make money. But it seemed like homeless people are kind of like free. Like, try not to do drugs and all that. Like, just be a normal homeless person. That would be that would be interesting. But only if you feel like there's no other option. Like, you just gotta be homeless, because I don't think you should just be like, I'm going homeless and that's it. Like, it's you just, if you don't have options, I don't think it's like the worst thing that can happen. I think a person can still find a way to cope. People are feeling less pressure to have kids, and are evaluating the pros and the cons. People value free time more now. That's what's dope, man. And a lot of people who are running this matrix hate that. If you really think about it, a lot of people who are running this matrix hate that. You know, because like, even when women talk about not wanting to have children, there'll be men that will judge them. Like, oh, you're selfish. Like, how can a person be selfish for not wanting to have children? How can a person be selfish for not wanting something to grow inside of them? Like, that's not selfish. It's just what the person wants. They don't want anything to grow inside of them. Like, you know, it's for them. It's not good. Like, they don't want to have children so bad. Yeah, enlightenment is awareness. Exactly. Is there South Africans ever moving out of their country? Me, I grew up and live in Canada and never met any South Africans. It's rare. It's rare. Um, it's rare, but yeah, there are South Africans who are moving out of the country. But the problem is that most South Africans don't know much about. Let me put it this way: most South Africans don't have money to travel. Let me put it that way: like, they don't have money to travel. But those who have money to travel, they do travel. But it's rare, and also because South Africa is not like Nigeria. It's not like Kenya and other African countries. Like, things are bad, but not that bad. Like, people are not starving so much that they're like, we're living. Most people in Africa come to South Africa, to find better opportunities. So, that's why a lot of South Africans don't really like leave the country. What's your real name? You might been told before, but I wasn't paying. I don't think you'll be able to pronounce it. My real name is Hlanhla. Like, it's not an easy name to pronounce. It's Hlanhla. I think it means blessing. I think it means blessing, but yeah, it's Hlanhla. Loon, you said in your video that some people are addicted to suffering, and it's true. Yeah, in some ways, it's true, but um, Loon, what you did? Did you respond? Because I said we must do a live like tomorrow. Like, I didn't see your response. Do you miss eating meat, and has it hindered you in any way? Not really. Not really. I think you can get used to your vegan lifestyle. So, not really, not really. You're so cute. You mean me? Losing our spiritual energy, the physical orgasm is what traps us here and gives food, lose to the demiurge, losing our spiritual energy. Mm, no, that makes sense. Shit, I thought about becoming homeless to escape this rat race too. Yeah, man. I think it also depends on where you are. Wage slavery is better than being homeless. I think for some people it isn't. I think some people actually do prefer being homeless. Like there are people who actually prefer being homeless. I kind of have to be always. I kind of have to be a wage slave just to get my cans of beans. Sucks. We can't own any land. It would be okay if we could build our own houses from natural resources, but they are all owned. In South Africa, and land is cheap. I was having a conversation with someone about land. Like in South Africa, land is like you can own a big land. You can like it's so cheap. Like even like my granddad, he owns a big land. I guess it's like my land now. Like it's a big land. Like it's not that expensive. It's not like in the US. Like even when you buy a house, you don't have to like pay every month. Like you own it. Like where I live, if you buy a house, you own it. It's yours. You don't have to pay monthly for anything. You don't pay monthly for water or anything like that. It's yours. No one can take it away. So things ain't that bad, in South Africa. Like when it comes to that, like things are a bit cheaper. That's why some people like some of us wonder why Americans don't come and live in South Africa because things are much cheaper here. Like things are much cheaper here. Homeless sounds fun if you got the right ones around you. Yeah, it kind of does. I know parents who spend all day on social media and texting on their phones rather than spending time with their children. Yeah, I see that a lot. And when their children want their attention, they scream at them. It's madness. I meet white South Africans. Yeah, I meet white South Africans in UK, not black. White South Africans, most of them have money, so that's why. So they do travel, but black South Africans, most black South Africans don't have money. Like, they're not like poor, but they don't like have enough money to be able to travel. That's why there are people who don't even go to Cape Town, but they live close. Like they're very like they don't even go. They've never been to the beach, but they live close. They don't have money. Um, where I live is not far from like Kruger National Park. There are people who come from like Joburg who go to Kruger National Park, but there are people who live where I live who never been to Kruger National Park. Like they don't have money. They're that broke, but it's not far. So I think it has a lot to do with money. Do you have an advice about people who need constant communication with other people and why it's better to not do this? Yeah, in 2012, I didn't have people that I can communicate with. At first, it was hard. I needed people because I was addicted to other people, but I got used to it. I found like I started doing things that I was able to do without relying on other people, and it got to a point where I became comfortable being by myself. So I think you just have to find things that work for you. It's not easy because relying on other people, people will disappoint you. That's the thing. Like other people will disappoint you, but you rarely disappoint yourself. Even if you do disappoint yourself, you understand why you disappointed yourself. Yeah, I've lived in Ghana, in Nigeria. They die on the road just to get to South Africa. SA is the USA of Africa. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, actually, yeah, it's true. SA is the USA of Africa. Yeah, a lot of Africans want to live in South Africa. Oh yeah, Benedict, I'm gonna join your live tomorrow. Is your Instagram the same as your YouTube? Yeah, it's Benedictine the Truth on Instagram. Just send me just send me a DM, and yeah, or we'll take it from there. That looks ideal in the latest Matrix movies. Um, Loon, can't wait till y'all talk about some shit. I gotta be in tune. Yeah, definitely. Do you think that the only reason that we care about pollution is because we exist? So if we weren't conscious, then we wouldn't care. So it is meaningless. Yeah, 100%. That's why we shouldn't be bringing people here, because we're bringing people here who will care what the heck is going on. Because whatever is going on here is not good. So if we're not bringing people here, then they won't give a damn. What is your top five countries you would like to visit in Africa and why? I would like to visit Nigeria. I think Nigerians are talented, like they're talented actors, talented musicians. So yeah, I would like to visit Nigeria because of that. Plus, I like their culture, I like how I like their lifestyle. Ghana, I like the accent. I think Ghanaians have the dopest accent in Africa. So and they seem smart, like they seem smart. Kenya, I like Kenyan women. Like I just like how they look. So yeah, I would like to visit Kenya for that reason. Um what's another country? I'd like to visit Egypt because I've heard a lot about it. I've heard a lot about it. I would like to see the pyramids as well. So yeah, it'll be dope to visit Egypt and what I think that's it. Like I don't remember any other country that I ever wish that I can visit in Africa except those countries. Um, you are the most dedicated person I know about find the truth. It's great. Thanks. That's true. Like to me, it's about the truth. Even when like I'm having conversations with people, I want to have conversations with people about like the truth. Like when I'm chilling with people, if we're not talking about the simulation hypothesis, if we're not talking about religion, if we're not talking about antinatalism, about politics, I'm usually quiet. So if a person doesn't know me, they'll think that I'm quiet. But if someone brings up the topic of like religion, even if I don't know them, I'm in. You know, like even if I'm in a taxi and people start talking about religion, and then when I don't know them at all, like I'm in. I'm gonna start talking to them because I'm interested in these kind of topics. Mm, having an anti of greed community will be dope, where we grow old and take bloodlines into extinctions together. Yeah, as long as we don't turn into a cult, it will be dope. And we find like if there was like a farm, like and we had like ways to like take care of ourselves, it wouldn't be bad. As long as it doesn't turn into a cult. Um, what's your view on the solar eclipse and World War? I've heard that there's gonna be a solar eclipse like on the 8th. How do they? I think they stage these things. I think they stage these things. World War III. Yeah, it's I think we're gonna see World War III in this century. Like just because war between Ukraine and Russia happened, you know that we haven't outgrown war, so it's gonna happen definitely. Though they'll make up an excuse to start World War III. You know, it's definitely gonna happen. What you mean? Me? I look like Jennifer Hudson? There's no way. Like she's a lady, and no, there's no way. Jennifer Hudson. I'm still living with my family. I'm getting into the trades in order to stop relying on them. Then I'll slowly transition into being a hermit. Yeah, that's the way. I heard Namibians have a very high standard of living, and it's one of the most developed nations in Africa. Yeah, I've heard good things about Namibia, but I don't know. But I've heard good things about Namibia. It's crazy how people act like you are insane for not wanting to have kids. Yeah, it's part of how this matrix have programmed people. You know, even not just for not wanting to have kids, just for speaking any truth. People have to make you think you're crazy, and because we don't want other people to think that we are crazy, we try to fit in. Like we try to be noble. Have you ever been in a group where people were saying the dumbest shit ever, but it was normal, and you felt pressure to be like them? You felt pressure to say dumb shit because you were like, hey, that's what's noble. Yeah. Yes, we don't usually realize that the countries that are doing even worse than Africa. I'm from Romania, and we're number one in inflation in Europe. I didn't know that. This world is a joke, 100%. I love this channel. It's literal therapy. Now we're collaborating, so it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be dope. A girl and I were talking. I thought she was enlightened. Then I realized she's religious Christians. Nothing wrong with that. But since I disagree with that belief system, I stopped replying. Um, Yeah, but only it'll be. It's just that Christians are very judgmental. That's something that I hate. I hate about Christianity because it keeps people closed minded. But if she was capable of understanding what you were saying to her, it will be good to talk to her and see where she's at. Maybe she was pretending to be a Christian because she thought that it was cool. Like I remember there's this other lady that I had a conversation with last year. She was not like real Christian like that, but she thought I was like a real Christian because of how I mean, she thought I was a Christian. Let me put it that way because of how I handle myself. And everyone is a Christian. So if a person handles themselves good, they just automatically believe that you're a Christian. She was pretending to be a Christian until I posted something on WhatsApp where I was talking shit about Christianity, and she was like, whoa. And then she started talking to me about how she feels about Christianity. And I was like, you were posting Bible scriptures when we met. And she was like, hey, that's what's cool. Like, I didn't want to be judged. Jesus and other religious figures out to be admired but not worshipped as a deity. Yeah, 100%. 100%. I'm much more worried about the word for myself. Jennifer Hudson, are you high? I think it was it was a joke. What do you think about the singer Taylor? She's from Johannesburg, South Africa. Oh yeah, that the chick that did the song. I forgot the name of the song, but she won an award, right, for that song. What's the song called? It's a very catchy song. The thing is, we didn't know her as South Africans. Like we didn't really know her until she blew up. But another thing that I've realized about the music industry in South Africa is that we don't pay attention to many artists. Like they'll just focus on one artist or two artists a year, right? So we don't really know like artists that are coming up. So sometimes it feels like she was just an industry plant. I remember I checked the YouTube channel, found some videos, like a first video on YouTube where she was singing, and I could see that she's talented. But I think you don't just make it to Hollywood just like that. I think it's not, I don't think that's how it works. But I think she does have the talent. I think she does have the talent. A lot of people just want to troll, man. Yeah, true. But not a lot of people, just some people. I'm not waking up tomorrow morning and finding out that there's nobody here. That's not gonna happen. They always try to scare us. Yeah, the worst trick this world did to me is making me think other people are more valuable than they actually are. And when I understand that they have nothing of value, I realize how stupid I was. Yeah, you are 1,000% right. You believe that other people are more valuable than you are because they fit in more than you sometimes. So you're like, okay, that means that that person is better than me. Or a lot of people love that person. So you automatically think that they're better than you. But people are dumb as fuck, bro. Like, that's what you must realize. People are dumb as fuck. Like, people, the smartest people are not really understood in our society. It's just that some of them are very successful. So they're admired for their success. But if you're smart and you're broke, you have nothing, you'd see that being smart isn't necessary, isn't an advantage unless you're going to use it to your advantage, like try to manipulate people and stuff like that. What language do you speak in South Africa? I speak Xitsonga. I speak Xitsonga. It's kind of like Zulu because I know Zulu is like a lot of people know Zulu, like that it like know Zulu. Yeah, like they know that we speak Zulu in South Africa because of Shaka Zulu. So it's kind of like Zulu, but not exactly. Like we used to be in one tribe, but then we got separated because of wars. You know how humans are. Every country in Europe is better than African countries because you are closer to modern civilization. You are more enlightened and literate. The problem in Africa is illiteracy. Mm, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's just that I've never been to other countries, so I can't compare. If you are healthy, you are like you people. If you are healthy, you are like you people. Yeah, that's true. Sometimes we take our health for granted. Like if you've never really been sick, you take that for granted. I remember when I fainted, I realized how I realized how important health is. Because now sometimes when I'm walking in the street, I think, hey, what if I faint again? I'm like, what if I faint? Because there was no warning. I just fainted. So health is important. The genetic engineering of babies will set a wide gap between the rich and the poor in terms of losing. Oh, all right, all right. I had a network problem. I love Caspanyo Vest. Is a South African. What do you love about Caspanyo Vest? Tell me. Tell me, what do you love about Casper? I'm not one of the likey people, unfortunately. You speak Prince. I don't even pronounce this surname. How detached are you from your feelings, considering the view you have on life? I still can't help it but take anything bad that happens to me personally. Um, I think guys, let me drink water. I'm thirsty. I'm thirsty. I just hope I don't mess this mic up. Guys, if you can still hear me, tell me, cause I don't trust this mic. We'll stop this live at exactly after let's say 12 minutes from now, when it's like 2 hours. At least it'll be the longest live that we've ever done. So, oh yeah, I don't allow myself to feel most of the times. Like I'm afraid to feel real emotions. Like I'm afraid to feel love. I'm afraid to even feeling happiness. Like it feels wrong to feel happiness. So the good thing is that I don't even like I rarely feel sad because I don't allow myself to feel happiness. I don't feel lonely because I don't allow myself to feel love like that. So I'm kind of like detached, and it does help me. I want to see you in Rush Hour 4, Chris Tucker. I like Chris Tucker in Rush Hour. I thought it was funny. We'll all need to have perfect bodies to even call this good. Yeah, exactly. Because it's unfair that some people are not healthy and some people are healthy. Some people, are physically strong. Some people are weak. Like the fact that we're not equal is messed up. Like that shows you that something is wrong. Because from like nature doesn't create people who are equal. Even animals are not equal. I remember there's this movie that I've watched. Oh, it's Lion King, where the and there's Simba, there's who, there's it's just I forgot the name of these characters. Like the father of Simba, man, like he had a brother, right? So the brother, because he wanted, to become the king. I remember he was working with hyenas, so he told them how unfair life is. Oh, he was not even talking to hyenas. I forgot. I actually forgot, but it was interesting what he was saying. Man, we're gonna be lit on that. Yeah, we're gonna kill it, man. We're gonna kill it. That is why their kids will be superior. Looks and IQ. Oh, it's Mufasa. Yeah, exactly. It's Mufasa. What was his brother's name? Most trolls are on. People are high. I'm pretty sure some people are high. Um, my kids won't suffer. I ain't having them. No, I think that's what makes me feel good most of the time. Like the fact that I'm not having kids. Like no one is going to suffer because of me. Like that feeling. That feeling is good because there are a lot of kids who are suffering, and their parents can't really do anything about their suffering. Like they're helpless. I know a lot of people who have kids who want to have jobs. They complain about not having jobs. But like, hey, if only this can happen so that I can have a job so that I can take care of my kids. And I feel for them because some of them do realize what's going on. They just made mistakes and they woke up too late, because that does happen. Some of y'all are just lucky to have woken up before it was too late, but it doesn't happen like that for everyone. Some people just don't wake up until it's too late, and they realize that, hey, this world ain't it. I know internalists who actually have children and who tell their children to not have children, and that children as ignorant, like, no, I'm having children. You're just depressed, mom. You're just depressed that. I mean, chances are, if you're gonna have children as an internalist, or if you have children as an internalist now, or like you became an internalist after having children, chances are they're gonna wanna have children. Like, because most people wanna have children. That's the thing. Most people wanna have children. Like 99 in 100 people wanna have children. It's like there's only one. Like what? There's one person in every 100 people who didn't wanna have children. So chances are, if you're gonna have a kid, that kid is gonna wanna have children because uh, the programming is very strong. We're programmed genetically and also socially, so, and this pressure to have children, there's another thing. Oh, his brother Scar. Yeah, that was my favorite character. I thought he was raw, and I don't think he was that wrong, but you know but I think I think most villains are not wrong, so I guess I might be wrong. The fact that bottom is a real thing proves that this place is a trap. Yeah, because think about it. if you get bored, you're gonna want to do things, and everything that you want to do puts you in a trap by default. Like you can't just chill and be like, I don't want to do anything. I just want to wake up and maybe work out a little bit and just chill. But if you just chill and do nothing, you get bored and you start suffering. So you have to do things to distract yourself. It's like your job is to try your best to distract yourself. Messy Stage, BS Complex, hello. Have never seen Messy Stage. Welcome, welcome. I loved you as the black guy on Suit Life on that this Suit Life on. I've watched that comedy back then. Actually, I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny. Being high makes it fun to be vegan when you're new at it. Depends on the kind of weed, man. Uh, do people around you treat you differently after you told them about your views? For a while they do, but they get used to it. Like for a while they do. They start judging me, but like they'll start thinking that there's something wrong with me, but then realize that there's nothing wrong with me, and realize that I might actually be right. So at first they will be like, okay, there's something wrong with him, but then realize that nah, he's straight. Um, he just view things differently, and maybe we should try to listen to some of the things that he says. And some people, and here's what's crazy: some people will agree with me privately. Like if I'm gonna talk to a group of people, everyone will be like, "No, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong," and then when all those people are gone, one person's gonna be like, "Hey, man, yeah, what you were saying actually does make sense. Like, yo, why did you pretend as if what I was saying didn't make sense?" And be like, "Hey, I don't want people to disagree. Like, people are afraid to be, and people are afraid of being judged. That's the thing. A villain is made by the circumstances of his life. True. True. I mean, the best villains in movies are the villains that are made by the circumstances of their lives. Actually, the worst villains are the villains that are just bad for no reason. Like they're just evil and they just want to do evil things. Like when you look at Thanos, for an example, he might have he was good. I think. I mean, people were starving in his home planet, and he was like, "Hey, maybe we should reduce the population randomly." And he was right. Like even if you also had to die, it was fine because had to be random so that it would be fair. But they were like, no, no, that cannot happen because they use their emotions. They didn't think logically. So he got banished from his home planet, and everyone died in his home planet. And after everyone died, he was like, you know what, I was right. So now I'm going to eliminate half of all life. I'm going to go planet to planet, eliminating half of all life. So every villain has a story. You just block me in the comments. No, that's not gonna. I would. I mean, you just commented. I will never block anyone. Everyone is allowed to comment. I have good kind of weed. I love the best. Like I love weed when it's good because weed is usually like the weed that we get decide is garbage. Like you said in a video, there's nothing in this world your brain can't get. Yeah, exactly. There's nothing in this world that your brain can't get used to. So the problem is that we are afraid of change. That's the problem. Like you can get used to anything, but we are afraid of change, and it's not easy to get used to something. Like if I was to get arrested today and go to prison, like I would think it would be the worst possible thing. Like I don't think I'll be like I can't even imagine being in prison. But the truth is, almost everyone who gets arrested for the first time, think they can't survive prison, but they get to survive it. It's like your brain can get used to anything. It's just not easy. My parents think I'm bewitched because I don't want to have kids or a wife. African parents, bro. I know, man. I know. I don't know. It's how we've been. It's how they've been programmed because they're very conservative. This is the thing. One of my favorite villains was Lex Luthor from Smallville. He started out kind of good at first. I know the name Lex Luthor, but I don't remember watching Smallville. But I know about it. You look like you swallow spiders. Yeah, I do swallow spiders, man. I do. Do you agree with Thanos? Um, I think he was right. I think he was right. What I don't agree with is imposing your will on others. Guys, it's 2 hours, so we'll have to stop the live. Join us tomorrow. I'm gonna be with Loon. I'll announce the time, so just join us tomorrow. Thank you all, guys.